I'm working on a 2009 Subaru Forester. This is a limited model, non-turbo, that I'm having a problem with the air conditioner and the heater. I first started to notice the problem when the temperature control was not changing the temperature in the car. So the first thing I did was to open up the glove box, and if you see in here, that white arm is the temperature control valve. And I'll start the car up. Okay. That opens and closes depending upon your temperature. The dial on the temperature control. And you can see I'm moving it through range and it's not moving at all. If I move it fully to the right in the lock position, you'll see it's moving. So the motor itself is working. When I pull it off of full, it'll retract. But what should be happening is, as I move the temperature dial throughout the range, that should be opening slightly and closing. That's not happening. So you're not getting any variation in temperature. This thing kind of stumped me a little bit. I wasn't sure where to start. But I did have one clue. The temperature gauge, the ambient temperature, the outside temperature, is pegged at 122 degrees. And while initially I thought that the two were unrelated, I thought the ambient sensor was only related to outside temperature and displaying that. I looked up the wiring diagram, and there is a wire from the ambient sensor that goes back to the HVAC controller. So when I saw that, I got curious. So I did test out the sensor. It's a thermistor, basically a variable resistor that changes with temperature. So I know I have a bad sensor, but what I didn't know is how it talks back to the HVAC controller. So what I decided to do was to disconnect the sensor, telling the HVAC controller that there's none at all. So rather than giving a bad reading, give it no reading. And when I did that, I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to pause it. I'll be right back. So this is the temperature sensor, the ambient temperature sensor. I'll do a separate video just showing you where it is and whatnot. This is bad. So now, when I start the car, rather than there be 122, it's giving you 3 dashes, which means it doesn't recognize any temperature at all. Okay? Now you'll see the difference is, as I move this, it moves without it being on full lock. So now I'm actually getting changes in temperature. So if you are not getting the responsiveness on the knob and manual controls, even with an auto climate control Subaru, disable your ambient sensor or just pull it out, and at least you'll get your manual controls back. Alrighty, hope this helps someone.